and send something, and they become mad.
All right. Welcome back to Punchline. It's time for us to continue with the conversation. Just before the break, we're talking about accountability, and it is on that same note that we want to get back with our conversation. Now, okay, the word accountability has been on our mouths for the better part of the past couple of months or so, and one of those issues is the issue of Adani Airport Holdings being granted concession to actually operate and refurbish JKIA. And this came after the information was just released out of nowhere. Nobody necessarily knew about this, and despite it potentially having some beneficial sort of outcomes, you've termed it as an economic sabotage. Why do you think it's an economic sabotage?
First of all, I think the phrase is transparency and accountability.
Yeah.
And for me, of the two words, transparency is more important. Me, if you have got transparency, I don't need accountability.
Yeah.
But if there's no transparency, even accountability can be cooked. So when things, you know, fraud, if you want to know, there's just one thing that makes fraud possible. It's called concealment.
Yeah.
The engine of fraud is concealment. So for me, if anything is concealed, then there's every reason to suspect it's fraudulent. Now, number two, the law is very clear on what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Even in a privately initiated partnership, the PIP that they are dealing with, there's a requirement for that transparency, and there's procedures to ensure that transparency. When that was skipped, then it cannot be a good, because there's no good, there's no public good outside the public law. All good is in the law. If anything must be done outside the law, it is not a good.
Yeah.
And so the Adani thing, and also the record of the Adani group speaks for itself. So the Adani thing for me is that the area, refurbishing an airport is not a very specialized area whereby you cannot do an open tender and get the best deal that there is. So there's no justification for a privately initiated whatever. Number two, Kenya Airport, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, has been self-sustaining. It has been expanding its own infrastructure based on its own revenues and whatever. So this attempt by somebody to capture our golden goose. You remember there was the initial design that they're going to give it to Kenya Airways, which you know has been captured by vested interests. They were trying to look at the money the airport is making. Then now you see this other secret deal. And the thing that's happening in terms of information in this country is that because of the rulings of the courts that have made it difficult for whistleblowers to come up with news, people sneak things out, and it begins as a rumor. And then you find there's some truth in it. Initially, when there was a denial that there was anything like that. Now the government has issued a statement trying to explain it. And now the rumor has even gone bigger. Another rumor has begun around Adani, saying even the bigger deal for Adani is with K24. Forget about the airport. It's K24 where the mess has happened, a bigger mess has happened. Now it has begun as somebody whispering. Now we're again following up to see if we can dig up some documents on that. So the whole thing is that the law requires transparency. These rogue state actors choose concealment because they're up to no good. There's no reason why you cannot be transparent and open on these things. And so the Adani thing, we have already prepared a petition, we're going to court. We want to have it quashed. And we also want to, we are now digging up the K24 issue. If there's anything like that, we want to have it quashed. But the only way that people right now can feel secure with information is to sneak it out and start it as a whisper, and then maybe draw a document here or there.
I mean, those are very serious remarks, so to say, and just looking at where we are as a country. So I'm trying to understand with what you've said, and basically these issues that begin as rumors and they eventually turn out to be true. What sort of government are we looking at that is serving us now that we've seen part of the opposition leaders have already been nominated to serve in the cabinet? You say the opposition is weak, but you say you're going to form a shadow cabinet. I'm trying to look at the muscle and where this leaves Kenyans in terms of living in this country and basically existing, because as of today, it basically seems that there's no country here.
No, the country is there. The country is secure. It's just the government that is being captured by vested interests in the form of governance. And that's what we need to restore and take back and say that we must govern this country according to the Constitution. The name Republic of Kenya is not an idle thing. We are a republic, a government of law. So the rule of law must be paramount. So to me, there's not it has not been lost.
Yeah.
And as you saw the Kenyan street the other day, vexing its muscles, and a lot has changed in this. Manage and transform. Yeah. We need to turn our resources into wealth. That's the call of leadership. And so all that has been this transactional things and concealment, you even find a situation whereby the Constitution says very clearly that a state officer shall not receive a gift. Yeah. If it receives a gift, then the gift shall go to the state. Yeah. And none other than the president says that he received a gift from some unknown fellows who gave him an aircraft to fly. Yeah. So you see, when you get to a situation whereby even the president is wrong, then you need to call this country back to order. And that's why I'm very happy with the push that we invoke Article 1 seriously and see how we can come up and as a people and exercise some direct power to ensure that those trying to sabotage or to undermine the state, the Kenyan state, so that it can become a client state of some powerful forces, are stopped in their tracks, and we get our country back, and we get our country to work for us.
Okay, just before I let you go in under 20 seconds, you've said all is not lost. And we have the Nane march that is scheduled for next week. And as we've gone by the days, we've witnessed that these demonstrations have lost their oomph. Probably for one reason or the other, the Gen Zs are getting exhausted. Probably the so-called funders are not seeing the benefit anymore. There could be a lot of issues. Now, you're looking at this in terms of a strategy. What needs to be done differently so that it can actually create the impact that is to be seen? Because you personally, for example, you've done this single-handedly for quite a long time. Do you think the current people have that zeal and energy and strategy to see it through?
Well, I think they have come out, and first of all, to be leaderless, to be tribeless, to be formless. Yeah. For me, when I read the Constitution, Article 3, Clause 1, says every person has an obligation to protect, defend, and promote the Constitution. So the call to defend the Constitution is not a call to a group. It's a call to individuals. So this Gen Z statement that they are tribeless, they are leaderless, they are formless, they are whateverless, is anchored in Article 3, Clause 1, which demands that really Kenyans, when the rubber meets the road, you have to be yourself as an individual and stand up. For me, that's a very good position they have taken. Secondly, the Nane thing, for me, I would look at it as an attempt to restore or to demonstrate, to flex political muscle. There was a time when people thought that it's only them who could fill Uhuru Park. When the Gen Z went there without these people and filled Uhuru Park, they made a statement that they can organize, they can rally their troops, and they can achieve a goal. When they came, said to occupy parliament, and they occupied, it means they can achieve their goals. Now, maybe for some strategic planning and whatever, to avoid exhaustion, they may need to stagger. And I'm happy that the Nane is now being planned a few days away. But for me, what should be the main achievement of Nane, it should culminate in a big rally. A big rally whereby, like just the march on Washington happened. Without the speech like I have a dream, in that rally that followed the proper advice speakers, I would like the Gen Z to use the Nane to launch new leadership, to show the talent they have among themselves so people can be leaders. They may be leaderless, but within them that people can be leaders. So if that thing can become, climax into a major rally in Nairobi, and then they make their statements, they share their vision, they show the country that what they really want is A, B, C, D. They have done that very well so far, but mainly on social media. If it can gel into that, it will be an achievement. My own advice is that we should avoid exhausting the energy and manage the anger in a way that does not now disrupt businesses, in a way that can be organized in a sense, in a way that can now bring the pressure still to bear on the street.
Yes.
We don't abandon the street.
Okay.
But we do it in such a way that it does not exhaust the energies.
Yeah.
But we also need now to co-opt in the police.
Okay.
We need to reach out to the police, talk to them. You saw that there's one ordinary policeman who was carrying a banner. You see? So we need to co-opt the police and bring them in.
Yes.
So that the country speaks with one voice.
All right, okay. Thank you very much for your time right there. You've had what Okiom Tata has said, that maybe it's time to re-strategize and look at that Nane march for it to culminate into something bigger than what we've been witnessing on the streets, which is basically the protests that he says are a bit exhaustive. As I've always said right here on Punchline, time will tell. Thank you very much for making time for the segment. I'm Alan Wino. Our sign language interpreter for this session has been Evelyn Wangoi. Until next time, do have yourselves a lovely one.